Good morning, everybody. This is our advisory class. This is EOC Prep, and now we are doing the second part of systems of equations. The first part was just equations, and we learned mechanically how to solve them. Now we're doing everybody's favorite. We've got word problems now, so hang tight with me. Just so you know, we're going to work the left side together, and we're going to show all of our work. Then you're expected to work the right side and show the same amount of work and get the correct answer. So here we go. Systems. The first line here says the sum of two numbers is 77. So sum means add, and I am going to let x be one number and y be the other. Sum is, that's an equal sign, 77. The difference is 13, so that's a minus sign. So look what it says. The sum of two numbers is 77. That's line 1. The difference of the numbers is 13. Now we're ready to solve the system by elimination. Notice, when I combine straight down, my y's will be eliminated, because a positive 1y and a negative 1y cancel out and give me 0. Now careful here. This is a 1x and a 1x, and when I combine, I get a 2x. Bring down my equal sign. We're going to combine here, and we will get 90, do believe. Now we're going to divide both sides by 2. One of my answers is 45. I need to get the other one. So I'm going to plug back into one of these. I'm just going to plug into this one. X plus y equals 77. So instead of x, I'm going to put 45 plus y equals 77. I'm sure you can figure this out in your head now, but we're going to just go through the motions. We're going to subtract 45 on both sides. And we get y equals 32. And now, it asks us a particular question. Find the largest of the two numbers. So the answer is 45. 45 is the largest of the two numbers. All right, you're going to work out this one on the right just like that one. Okay. Right, little bit trickier now. Here we are dealing with a system, but we're talking about coins. So the first thing let's do is, let's go up above and let's talk about the value of some coins. So, a nickel has a value of 5 cents, so that would be 0.05 is the value of a nickel. A quarter has a value of 25 cents, and we write that as 0.25. And a dime has a value of 10 cents, and that is written as 0.10. Okay, so now that I've got my values, now I'm getting ready to write my equations. Well, what we're doing here is we're looking for two totals. So we've got a total of coins and a total of value. Okay, so the way I taught my children was I find my two totals and I come over here on the right hand side, equals 18. Here's another total, equals $2.10. So I'm getting ready to write my two equations. The first equation is going to be equal to the coins, 18 coins. The second equation is going to be equal to $2.10. So let's let x equal my nickels, and let's let y equal my quarters. And it's going to be the number of nickels I have and the number of quarters I have. So this is a quantity. It's 18 coins, so all I need is add up the number of nickels I have with the number of quarters I have, and I should have 18 coins. Okay, now the second equation is a little bit more complicated because it's more than coins. It deals with the value of money. So now, not only do we need the number of nickels we have, I've got to multiply by the value of a nickel, which is 5 cents. So we've got 0.05, the value of a nickel, multiplied by the number of nickels I have. We're going to add that to the value of a quarter, which is 0.25. And we're going to multiply that by the number of quarters we have. Okay? Right, so now I've got my two equations, and I am going to solve by elimination. One of my issues is I need one of these to eliminate, and nothing will. So what I'm going to do is I am going to multiply this top equation by negative 0.05, and it will make my x's go away. So I'm going to multiply this top equation by negative 0.05. So now I'm going to rewrite this. So negative 0.05 times x is negative 0.05x. Negative 0.05 times y is negative 0.05y. And now I'm going to multiply negative 0.05 times 18. And we can go ahead and get our calculator for this. Negative 0.05 times 18 is negative 0.9. Okay. And now I'm going to record my second line right underneath this. Okay. I know it looks messy because it's decimals, but we got this. Notice a negative 0.05 and a 0.05 is going to cancel. Now we're going to combine this. Feel free to use the calculator if you need to. This is negative 0.05 added to 0.25. We get negative 0.2, positive 0.2. And that has a y on it. And then we're going to do negative 0.9 added to 2.10. And we get 1.2. It's kind of like $1.20 is what it's like. It doesn't matter if that zero's there, but that's what it's kind of like. Okay, last step is going to be, let's divide by 0.2 on both sides. Pop this in the calculator. So notice that big old ugly equation came out to be 6, meaning we've got 6 quarters. And now I need to know how many nickels, so I'm going to plug right in here. You've probably already figured it out in your head, but let's go ahead and write it. Number of dimes plus the number of quarters equals 18. So we've got number of dimes added to 6 quarters equals 18. And if I subtract 6 on both sides, I get 12. So now I find out I've got 12 nickels and 6 quarters. Okay. Also, going to tell you a little secret. You still have to show your work over here, exactly like we did here. However, you can check this in Desmos. So let's write that down. Let's write check in Desmos. That will also help you on the right hand side to double check your answer. How do we check in Desmos? Well, what we do is we put these two equations in Desmos and we find the intersection. So just showed you a trick on how to double check your answer here, but keep in mind we still need to show our work, and you can just double check that in Desmos. All right. And last one for the word problems with systems. All right. As usual, the way these are set up is they've given me two totals. So I've got a total of $7.50 and a total of $4.75, and I write my totals on the other side of my equation. Okay. And now let's see what we're talking about. Jackson bought 5 candy bars and 3 drinks for $7.50. Then he bought 3 candy bars and 2 drinks for $4.75. If you notice, we know our quantities. What we're missing are the cost of a candy bar and the cost of a drink. So let's set some variables. We're going to let X equal the cost of a candy bar. We're going to let Y equals the cost of a drink. And now let's fill in our equations. So the first equation, we've got 5 candy bars, and we need to multiply that by the cost of each candy bar. Then we're going to add 3 drinks, and we've got to multiply by the cost of that drink, and that's going to equal $7.50. And now my second sentence says we've got 3 candy bars, and we're going to multiply that by the cost of each candy bar, added to 2 drinks, and multiply that by the cost of a drink. So now we have our 2 equations. Now, to solve by elimination, we got a little issue. These will not cancel, and these will not cancel. So we got a little bit of work to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite these way over here because we got some work to do. So go ahead and rewrite these. And teachers, you may want to pause the video and let the students catch up a bit. Okay, now, this is one of the hardest elimination methods to do because I am actually going to have to multiply my top and bottom equation by something. So, this is how we do this. I want both of these to be 15. I want one to be a negative 15 and one to be a positive 15. So I'm going to multiply this by negative 3 and this by positive 5 because that'll give me a negative 15x and a positive 15x, which means they will eliminate. So let's multiply all 3 of these terms by negative 3. I'm going to write them right over here. So this is negative 3 times 5x is negative 15x. Negative 3 times positive 3y is negative 9y, and negative 3 times 750, go ahead and grab your calculator, negative 22.5. Okay, and now let's do the same thing here. 5 times 3 is 15x. 5 times 2 is a positive 10y, and then 5 times $4.75 is $23.75. You can put a 0 on that if it makes you feel good. Now we are ready to solve by elimination because when I combine straight down, my x's go away. Okay, I'm going to combine here. Negative 9 and positive 10 is just a positive 1y, so that's going to be great. And now let's combine here. Negative 2250 minus 2375 gives me, sorry, do it again. Negative 2250 plus 2375 is $1.25. Okay, so what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that the cost of one drink is $1.25. So I'm just going to write that because it's going to help me out. Now I need to substitute this back in to find out the cost of a candy bar. So y'all, I'm going to the original problem. I'm just going to grab this one right here. I know that y is $1.25, so I'm going to substitute it right there. So this is what it's going to sound like. 5x plus 3 blank equals $7.50. So here we go. 5x plus 3 blank equals $7.50. And the blank is the cost of a drink, and I'm going to substitute $1.25 because I know what that number is. Now, 3 times $1.25 is $3.75, so that goes right here. I'm going to bring everything else down. And now I need to solve a two-step equation. So I'm going to subtract $3.75 on both sides. Bring down your 5x. Bring down your equal sign. And now let's pop that in the calculator. 750 minus 375 is 375. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I get 75 cents. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if we look back up at what the variable we assigned was, it is the cost of a candy bar. So that's the cost of a candy bar. And now, what is our final question? How much does one candy bar and one drink cost? So we've got a drink and a candy bar. Let's add that up. We've got $1.25 for the drink. We've got 75 cents for the candy bar. And when I add that up, I get $2 for a candy bar and a drink. So there's the answer to my problem. Okay. Also keep in mind, you can double check yourself. How do you double check? You double check with Desmos. You put both equations in. And you find the intersection. Okay? So, over here, you need to show your work and pop this in Desmos, and you can double check your answer. All right? Y'all have a good day.